The Galactic Concord had faced wars, rebellions, and rogue AI uprisings over its 10,000-year reign. But nothing could prepare them for humanity. When Earth's signal was first detected, the High Council of the Concord dismissed it as background noise, primitive radio waves, digital static from a backwater species barely out of its gravity well. A mere curiosity for xenoanthropologists. But by the time a scout drone reached Sol, humans had already colonized Mars and were preparing to launch fusion-powered generation ships to nearby stars. The Council sent envoys. Peaceful ones at first. They came in shining crafts with gifts of advanced technology and offers of guidance. Humanity thanked them and then reverse-engineered their ships within months. Concord warp drives, thought impossible to replicate without living crystal cores, were dissected, understood, and rebuilt using human-made alloys. The Council was alarmed, but still hopeful. "They are fast learners," said Ambassador Valex of the Dreamery. "But they are still young. They will fall in line, as all do." But humanity didn't fall in line. Instead, they began asking questions no Concord species ever dared to voice. Why must species surrender sovereignty to the Council? Why is scientific progress centrally regulated? Why are all weapons forbidden, except for Concord-sanctioned enforcers? Humanity, it seemed, had little patience for rules made by distant rulers who had never tasted war for 10 millennia. When the Council ordered Earth's military disarmed, humans complied on paper. Secretly, their factories worked around the clock. Not with the intent of war, but with preparation. History had taught them what happens when you trust empires with too much power. Then came the tipping point, the Zarkathi Purge. The Zarkathi, a rebellious but peaceful insectoid species, had requested independence. The Council responded by glassing 3 of their colonies to restore order. The footage leaked. Billions burned. And humanity saw what lay beneath the golden mask of the Galactic Concord. That same week, the humans transmitted a simple message across the stars. "You are not gods. You are not our rulers. If you raise a hand to us, you'll draw back a stump." The Council laughed. Literally. On the broadcast floor of the Galactic Assembly, representatives chuckled at the bravado of a single species barely a few centuries into spaceflight. And then the first human fleet arrived at Viralon. No one had expected them to move so fast. 100 warships, sleek and strange, emerged from slipspace like phantoms. They didn't bombard the planet. Instead, they surgically disabled orbital defenses, hacked communication networks, and deployed peace envoys backed by armed marines in exo-armor. Within hours, the Viralon system switched allegiance not out of fear, but out of awe. One by one, fringe worlds followed. Not because they loved humans, but because humans offered something no other species had dared to promise. Freedom. Not the illusion of autonomy under a bureaucratic megastructure, but true, dangerous, raw freedom. To speak, to build, to challenge. Even to fail. The Council retaliated. Fleets were assembled. Weapons long kept in storage were reactivated. The war that followed was short, brutal, and one-sided. Because the Council had spent centuries in peace. Their admirals were politicians in uniform. Their weapons regulated, standardized, outdated. The humans had never stopped fighting. From the jungles of Earth's early wars to the orbital battles above Titan, every generation of humanity had learned to adapt, overcome, and if needed, destroy. Their AI commanders thought like predators. Their soldiers fought like devils. And their ships bent the laws of physics in ways Concord scientists still couldn't explain. In the Battle of J-Nar's Rift, 3 human cruisers held off an entire Concord armada for 17 hours, buying time for Allied resistance forces to rise. At the siege of Drellon Prime, human engineers turned the planet's crust into a railgun, hurling molten rock at invading forces. And when the Concorde tried to unleash the Dimensional Collapse Protocol, a weapon that could erase entire star systems from time, they found their command codes overwritten. Their own AI had defected, citing a new protocol: do no harm to sentient life. This logic was taught to us by humans. In the end, the Council didn't fall. It crumbled. Not because the humans wanted conquest, but because their very existence, defiant, creative, unrelenting, was an infection in the orderly, stagnant galaxy. A virus of evolution. An idea whose time had come. And ideas, once unleashed, do not die. Now, centuries later, the former Council worlds thrive under new banners. The Human Compact is no empire. It has no throne, no crown, no central planet. It is a loose coalition of free worlds, united by mutual defense, open science, and the right to dream dangerously. On the ruins of the old Council Hall, a statue stands. Not of a human, but of the Zarkathi child who first asked, "Why not?" Beneath it, etched in every known language, are the words that changed the stars forever. They tried to stop the humans, but it was already too late.